Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk. Here we go. Public footpath. Where am I going today? Well, I hope it's not going to be a folly, but I'm off to see a folly. I'm in Slindon, in West Sussex, on the Slindon estate by Court Hill Farm, which is just over here. There's lovely buildings, but I'm going up there to see a folly, the Slindon Folly, or the Nor Folly, as it's also known. It's on this hill over here, and I'm in West Sussex. It's about 6-7 miles from Bognor Regis, just off the A29 on the main Bognor to London road, and it's just at the top of this hill. I haven't been to a folly on one of my walks, so I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. I started my journey just north of the Slindon village, and the route around the farm is very muddy. I'm filming in January, and we've had some wet weather. It's not been the driest month so far, and of course round farm gates and all that sort of thing, the movement of vehicles and animals of course will churn up the mud. The walk today should guarantee some terrific views across the South Downs. Looking, I believe, east, we should see the whole Halnaker windmill, which has had some restoration work done to it. I need to go back and have a second look at that actually. I made a video about that some while ago. Actually just getting my bearings now. That's actually, sorry, that's to the west. Yes, that's towards Chichester. My east and west, I'm continually getting confused. Looking south, of course, we should see down towards Fontwell, the racecourse, and then to Bognor itself. Through the trees, you do catch glimpses of it. And actually, I'll let this truck go past. Morning. I was filming on another film around the Slindon estate on the deer park, the Park Pale as it's called, and from that you could see past the Slindon estate, the old manor house, and in the distance on the hill you could see the folly standing there proud in the sunshine. I'm very lucky today because there is actually sunshine. The road, as you can see here, however, hasn't seen much sun and it's wet and boggy. So from the farm, Court Hill Farm, it's not a very long journey at all to get to the folly, and actually you just turn right here. I think it's this path. Oh, there's the folly. It's not this path, it's the next one. But up there, I'm just going to move up here. Can't go into it because there's rope, but you can see the folly there in the distance. And what a splendid sight it is. But what is a folly and why were they built? That's what I'm going to try and explain. The countryside is always full of excitement. There's a beautiful old barn just up here, flint barn with a tiled roof, and you get these views sweeping down across the hills here. Now I'm just looking for the correct path, and there's two to choose from, and I assume you can see the flint barn behind me there. Here it is. The folly hails us. It's very exciting when you see the object of your quest ahead of you. Looks like there's a whole load of sheep in the field surrounding it, so we'll try not to disturb those. So what is a folly? A folly is a whimsy. It's effectively an architectural whimsy. It's built really with no purpose whatsoever, other than an adornment on the landscape, a bit like one of those things you find on wedding cakes, little useless things on the top of a wedding cake, perhaps a figure or a little structure that actually you can't eat, has no purpose other than decoration. Sometimes follies can be constructed as the result of a bet or a wager. There's one folly in Dallington in East Sussex that Mad Jack Fuller erected, and he claimed that from his house he could see the top of Dallington Church. Turns out he couldn't, so he built a folly called the Sugarloaf, and that from his house looked like the spire of the church, and he won his wager. Whether anyone actually believed him or not when they discovered the folly, of course, is another matter. This folly was built in 1814 by the Newburgh family. The Countess of Newburgh came up here onto this hill to have picnics with her society friends, and this folly, it looks like the gateway to somewhere, but actually it's a gateway to nowhere. I think, or I read on the National Trust's website, who restored it in 1993, that the folly was built to resemble a picture of an Italian house that the Countess had seen. It's built of flint mainly, and has had to have several bits of reconstruction work, as I say, once in 93, and then towards the end of 2017 I noticed there was scaffolding around it and they were just doing some extra repairs. It goes off into a forest behind, so it doesn't really go anywhere. Well, what do you think? It's absolutely splendid, isn't it? You can understand why the Countess Newburgh wanted to come up here on a summer's day, or even in the spring, and take in the magnificent views around, while at the same time enjoying this wonderful sort of renaissance. And if you look about, although it is made of flint and it looks like a gate in its own right, a gateway going nowhere in particular, if you look at it, true to many follies, it has these sort of bits of stuff, if I can just show you there, bits to the side that look like it once joined on to a bigger structure, and that's part of the folly legend. It's as if this is the only bit from an earlier time is left, and that whatever else was here had fallen out of use. Well, of course, that's not true. It's built to resemble that. There's sort of the suggestion at the top there of an arch that may have gone over, and the idea that on one side it's sort of got a capital and then on the other side it's missing, and again, all on purpose, made to look like that on a folly. And if you're a trig point follower and you want to write down the trig point numbers, here's another trig point to go and have a look at. Well, there we are, the Slindon Folly. Marvellous, and well worth coming out on a cold January day just to see that. And finally, as a sort of PS to today's video, if you carry on up the path past the folly, you'll come here into this remarkable, wonderful bit of woodland. At the moment there's a carpet of golden leaves, and looks fantastic, brown golden leaves, and all these terrific beech trees growing up in this remarkable forest. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video, and that you'll come out into the great British countryside and look for follies, among other things, and trees too. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.